salt can be a nice flavor enhancer, but if you put too much of it, it can ruin a dish. And I think the same thing is true with pop-up.
100%. Don't have salty pop-up ads.
Yeah.
Kirby's right.
Hey there, and welcome to episode 2 of the Branded Merch Podcast. We call this the definitive podcast for marketing professionals who want to leverage branded merchandise to up their marketing game. I'm one of your hosts, Hasseman, and joining me today, and joining me as always, is my good buddy, good pal, Bill Petrie. Bill, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Kirby. Happy to be here. The response we got from the first episode was amazing. So I'm ready to get to it, man. This is exciting stuff for me.
Yeah, it really is fun. For those who don't follow around, Bill and I have created content for years together. What is it? 7, 8 years. We've done a couple different podcasts.
Years,
yeah. And generally speaking, the podcasts we create are for the promo and marketing space. And obviously this one is more for marketing professionals who might be customers, might be, folks who follow the Hasseman marketing brand. And so I'm really excited, and I appreciate Bill for kind of taking the time to do that. So Always. Each time we're going to do a topic that Bill's bringing to the table that's sort of a marketing topic that's on his mind. And then we talk about a topic that's tied a little bit more to branded merch. So Bill, what topic do you have for us this week?
All right, Kirby. So thinking about, your audience and your clients and your prospective clients and people who have been very loyal to your brand, I'm going to tell people things that they need to look at on their websites to make them better.
Okay.
That is, the most important thing of your digital real estate is your website. That's what people go to right now. When they think about your business, the first thing they're going to do is go to your website and look at it. So I'm going to share 5 things that you should look at, not tomorrow, probably today on your website, to make sure it's telling your story exactly the way you want. Okay. Ready?
Cool. Bring it.
All right. Number 1, pop-up ads. Now, I understand sometimes you need pop-up ads because you want to get people to subscribe to your newsletter, or your blog, or things like that, or maybe you want to sell product. But too many of them, honestly, are a killjoy. No one wants to spend time trying to find the mystery X to get that away so that they can get to where they want to go. We call that in our world, you're increasing friction into the process. And everything you should be doing on your website is removing that friction. So pop-up ads, unless they're offering value or they're very specific in nature and they're easy to get rid of, lose the pop-up ads. Number 2, do you have anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the key things that you mentioned was adding value, because I think that there are times when a pop-up ad does make sense, but I think the real thing is, just like anything, is like salt can be a nice flavor enhancer, but if you put too much of it, it can ruin a dish. And I think the same thing is true with pop-up.
100%. Don't have salty pop-up ads.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Number 2, poor navigation. Don't make me hunt down your navigation bar. Don't make it so cute that I have to find things. Let me know what you do. Show me clear calls to action.
Yeah.
Make your copy clear so I understand why I'm there and what you want me to do.
Yeah. Donald Miller, who wrote the book, Build Your Story Brand, has a saying, says, if you confuse, you lose. I think so many times, and I'm totally guilty of this, as marketers, entrepreneurs, we get cute, right? We want to say something really fun. And not only is that confusing for the customer, but it's also not great for SEO. So yeah, be clear. And just what he also says, what you want them to do, put that right up front, don't hide the cash register. So I think that's great advice.
I love that advice. All right. Number 3, cheesy stock photography. I got news for you. No one is ever that happy in a meeting. I've worked at a lot of places and no one's ever that happy. All right. Yeah. So that stuff kills your inbound marketing. And I think you would agree, Kirby.
Yeah, I agree. And there's the standard stock photography that is crappy. And then like I've heard you talk about places where there are some better places to go.
Yeah, there's 3 of them, and I'm going to give them to you right now, Kirby. Perfect. deathtothestockphoto.com. Great stuff, much more realistic. Negativespace.co. And the third one is startupstockphoto.com. Or sorry, startup Let's try that a third time, shall we? Startupstockphotos.com. All three of those have really great stock photography that aren't those cheesy ones we see over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All
So
right.
that's at least some great value. So appreciate that.
Absolutely. Number 4, it doesn't explain your why. Why am I here? Why should I care about what you're
Mm,
doing?
yeah,
What is your mission? And how does it tie into helping me accomplish my goals? If I can't understand that pretty quick on your website, I'm out.
yeah, that's a good. I like that one. No argument.
And then the last one, no blog. Now, a lot of people will laugh at me in the era of video and chat GPT and all this. Why would I need a blog? No one reads blogs anymore. That's not true.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a blog to really, over time, tell your story the way you want to tell it. Maybe it's through case histories. Maybe it's through new product launches. Maybe it's through experiences, how you've helped your clients. In an era where consumers have more ability to research you than ever before, people make 70% of their buying decisions on you before they ever contact you. A
Right.
blog is the best place to build trust and expertise without hitting people over the head with it.
Yeah, not and anybody who pays attention to us, I mean, Hasseman Marketing has a pretty predominant blog and content section. This is something we believe in for sure. And I think, what you said that struck me was overtime. I think that, creating a blog is not a quick, easy button. It is a long-term investment that you're going to communicate through your own, you're the media company. And so you have the ability to communicate the way that you want to say the things that you want to. And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of creating content of any kind, but a blog is a great place to have it on your site.
The best analogy, and then we'll zip out of this, is I think it's a long game, right?
Right.
And you're building, great brands are not built overnight. It's like a house. It's built brick by brick, by brick by brick, held together with mortar, right?
Yeah.
Every blog is a brick. You build it brick
Yeah.
by brick. So how do you get to be a great known brand? You build it brick by brick by brick by brick.
Love it. Well, those are great. So those are 5 things to take a look at your website right away. I hope that you can pause the website and go, or pause the podcast and go look at it right now. But obviously you found this on our website. And so we are trying to practice here what Bill is preaching. And again, appreciate you bringing your expertise here today.
You bet.
So the next topic really quickly, we try to make these 10, 15-minute podcasts. So we're going to keep these short and sweet, but the next topic is going to be around the idea of utilizing branded merch to leverage your company, right? And so one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was just the idea of onboarding new team members. The reality of it is, despite the fact that headlines are talking about some of those bigger companies who are laying off folks, I can't speak to what your clients are saying right now, Bill, but many, many, many of my clients are still saying, hey, we're still struggling to find great talent, attract them, retain them. And so one of the things that I wanted to bring up today was just a way to bring, once you find that person, is bringing them on in a way that's intentional and how we can utilize branded merch to do that best. So I had a couple things that I wanted to share, but I want you to jump in. Is that fair?
Oh, that's great. Let's go.
Okay. So one of the things, it is fascinating to me, Bill, how many people they say, okay, can't get employees fast enough. And they bring them on and then maybe they give them a name badge, maybe not. And then they kind of throw them out to the wolves. And I think that in a day when, whether you are physically working at the office or you're working remote, which is happening more and more, just some sort of welcome kit seems like kind of a no-brainer, and it's not being done very often. Do you agree?
I completely agree. And as you're talking, here's what I got to thinking about. We have kind of made jokes, the global we, of the generation coming up behind us. They all love their participation ribbons. So if there's truth in that statement, then there probably is a little bit of truth in that statement. Give them a participation ribbon. If that's what they're used to, if that's what makes them feel part of your community, your organization, why not give them a great, well thought out merch kit that has a shirt, a coffee mug, a travel tumbler, maybe a briefcase, a pad folio, whatever it is, but just, hey, we're glad you're here.
Right.
It's important to us that you're here.
Yeah.
I always say when I land a client, that's when the real work begins. When you
Right.
hire an employee, that's when the work begins to retain them.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you, it is, I think it's so often we very easily forget what we felt like when we first joined this team. It's a group of strangers for the most part, most of the
Yeah.
time, right? And you don't understand the culture, you don't understand the lingo. And I think by doing something thoughtful that they're going to feel weird at first. This is a way to welcome them so they immediately feel at least this much more a part of the tribe. And one of the things that I kind of have been thinking a little bit about on this here lately is utilizing this opportunity to show your culture. Like, if you are a very professional, buttoned up organization, well, then that merch should,
Reflect that. Yeah.
thank you, reflect that. But if you're fun, then is the t-shirt just your company's logo on the front of it, or does it have a fun saying that's a little bit irreverent? It should mirror your culture, I think. And I think that is one of the things what people do, just like they do with trade shows sometimes. It's like, oh crap, we have a trade show coming up. We're going to get something really quick. We're going to run to the closet. I think when we get new employees, that's what we do. We run to the closet and say, okay, what kind of crap can we put in a bag so that we have something? And that's if you do anything at all, right? And I think just like anything else in life, being intentional is probably the most important part of this.
Yeah, it's definitely an actions, not words moment, right?
Right.
And in something as small as I'm new here, I don't know anybody here, but I have the same shirt as everybody else. So I
Right.
kind of belong, or I have the
Yeah.
same coffee mug or tumbler.
Yeah.
I think the point you make there is great. And that's why working with someone like you is so important to guide people through that process, because people don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They want to do something, they just don't
Yeah.
know what.
And my other thought, and again, jump in with anything else, but one other thought that I've seen other organizations do, and I've tried to do with ours, and sometimes I'm better at this than others, right? Has nothing to do with brand and merch, but assign a mentor, assign a welcome person that kind of can help, that can be that person's lifeline to say, okay, when are breaks? How is this handled? Just having somebody that you feel like, okay, I do, maybe that's the person that gives them the merch kit, right? And just give them a mentor
Right.
so that there is something that helps them feel a part of the team immediately.
I think that's great. The company I ever worked for assigned that I walked in on day one. I did have a merch kit, a
Cool.
small merch kit, and they had my schedule for the entire week. Now, I
Mm,
don't love having my life scheduled, but in that moment, I loved having my life scheduled because
right.
I knew not only where I was supposed to be and what I was going to be learning, but who I was going to be doing it with.
Mm,
And they assigned me a buddy who would be the person to shepherd me to those locations and pick me up afterwards when we were done to take me to the next location. And then for the next 4 weeks, we had lunch every Wednesday. And
mm,
it was just about how you fitting in, how you liking things. Hey, we're
mm.
doing, we have we go to this bar every other Thursday night. Would love to have you join us. Those type of things make a community, makes a culture.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot from that experience. I think what you said is great. Having that mentor, that buddy makes a lot of sense. And however you can do that in your organization
Yeah.
is a great way to do it.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a challenge, right? I think it's a challenge that many people are facing. And so this is the goal here, just like we've talked about in the past, Bill, is our goal is to provide some level of value. And so hopefully this got you thinking about if you're going to do something, do it right. So Bill, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. And there you have it. Quick and
Go.
painless. That's what we do, right, Bill?
That's
Quick
right.
and
We
painless.
reduce friction. Go check your website.
Yeah, that's right. All right, cool. But if you do enjoy these podcasts, please just know that this is brought to you by Hasseman Marketing. You can subscribe by searching Delivering Marketing Joy. It's kind of part of that Delivering Marketing Joy podcast network. And just as a side note to try and provide just a little bit more value, if you head to HassemanMarketing.com, we have a free book that you can download as well that's called Delivering Marketing Joy that will help you do merch right. Bill, thanks, man. Appreciate you doing this. And we'll see you next time. Okay.
See you next time.